What do you value the most when you look at a person? Their personality, their race, or their size or looks? We live in a society where looks and appearances are more important than one's ability to work or personality. My name is Raim Park, and today I will be speaking about physical appearance discrimination and how we should stop it. First of all, what is discrimination anyway? Discrimination is when one is treated unfairly because of a certain characteristic such as race, age, or gender. Physical appearance discrimination is when one is treated unreasonably and differently than others just for the reason of the way they look. Well, then why do people discriminate against others just because of their looks? Through an experiment, it was found that humans are taught to categorize objects ever since they are young. In the course of this teaching process, we tend to give value to certain categories over than others. Therefore, we have a mindset that one is always superior or inferior to the other. There are 4 kinds of physical appearance discrimination. First is indirect discrimination, then direct discrimination, then harassment, and lastly, victimization. Out of these 4, direct discrimination is the most common kind that many are facing. To give an example, let's take a look at the story of a man named Phil. Phil was born with a birthmark that covers over 70% of his face. As he was growing up, Phil never experienced difficulties because of the way he looked. Despite that, when Phil grew up to an adult, he realized how hard it was to get a job, go outside, and just live in this society with his face. He would have constant fights with his wife, and no matter where he went, people would always turn to stare. The main cause for all of these fights and problems would always be Phil's face. Phil also faced hardships when he went to job interviews. He would encounter several companies saying that they couldn't have an employee with a face like his. Now, Phil isn't only the person or the one who has experienced discrimination like this. In a recent survey, it was shown that in the United States, 36% of workers have experienced discrimination in their workplace just because of their height, weight, and several other unacceptable reasons. Many people also confess that attractive men and women are highly preferred over others. A professor at the University of Colorado Denver Business School said one could argue that under certain conditions, physical appearance may be a legitimate basis for hiring. So what should we do to change this society? What should we do to prevent companies and other people from prioritizing looks over a person's ability to work or their disposition? First of all, we should not accept discrimination as something that's inevitable. We can bring an end to discrimination, and we should. We also need to teach the aspect of differences to children at an early age. Most schools teach children that something is much more valuable than the other for unacceptable reasons. This needs to draw to a close. The last method that we should use to stop this kind of discrimination is straightforward. Why can't we be the people who first step out? The people who first make a difference in this world. Let's become people who would rather lend a hand instead of just watching. Right now is a time for us to make a change, a time for us to do something. Thank you.